the best brains in Africa are being pushed to the West. They are being westernized simply because of what Africa and African leaders denied them. Things that could have contributed greatly to who we are, that could have contributed greatly to our own, our greatness as a people. When you look into all of this Western world and you look into their laboratories, you will find Africans there, African scientists from somewhere in Africa who got given the opportunity to actually be what he wants to be. And who do you think is going to serve? Dictators in Africa who will never respect the medical field, or the medical people who work in the medical field? Those who will never respect or treat them with dignity and honor that they deserve for saving lives. Is that how you judge patriotism? People will even go back to criticize these dictators. Some of them are what? They are hunted down. When you look at all these Western laboratories, you see Africans there. When you look at all this great engineering, construction, what do you call it? Construction conglomerate all over the world, you will see Africans there. They are their designers. But back in Africa, they are hunted down. You know it, I know it. But most of you actually support them because you prefer your dictator differently, kind of. In Nigeria, the people in Nigeria, they prefer their own, what do you call it? Their own criminal leaders. They respect, they love them differently. They kind of, the best brains in Africa, they ended up elsewhere in the world. Have you asked yourself, how come the best brains in China, the best brains from Asia, how come they didn't end up in the laboratory of Africa? How come they didn't end up in the construction, what do you call it? Discoveries of Africa? How? Just look into how you are being governed and being ruled. And then you will blame the West, you blame them less. They call it brain drain. You can't remove African leaders by elections. Of course you can't. They will tell you, oh yeah, we do democracy. How many of them actually does democracy in Africa for real? What happened to their oppositions? Those who actually go out there to oppose them, to fight them, that they want the same thing they want. How do they treat them? How do they treat those who are voting for them? How are they treating them? Which is what we have in Nigeria too. Talking about injustice. Injustice and the way you are treated can actually be linked to where we are coming from and what we take in as if the whole world owes us something. Being victims, we are victims. They colonized Africa. Somebody told me that, Maiyegun, do you know that some African countries are still paying colonial tax to France? I said, is that real? Yeah. They said that go online and check it. Some African countries, yeah, they are still paying. And if you look at all these French-speaking African countries, these are the areas where you will see long-time criminals who have been leaders, long-time criminals who have committed genocide, killed their people, stayed in power, or either get booted out of power, coup and all of that, because there are ways they can keep them in power. There are ways they can kick them out of power. All of this decided in France. So those of us who are like Anglophones, they call us Francophones, Anglophones. Those African countries colonized by the British, they called us the Anglophones. Those of us in Anglophones, We dealt with our own kind of a coup, this and that. But at the end of the day, yeah, the supremacy or the survivor of the reign of underdevelopment in Africa, in every country in Africa that has experienced that, is backed by those they call the colonial master or what have you. But those who are the Anglophones kind of have it a little bit better. We are not paying any direct tax. This one is a tax that the country knows they are paying. We're not paying any tax to the UK. We're just tired of the exploitation, people say. But there is no exploitation without the blessing of those who are there. Yeah? The exploitation of Nigeria, right, is granted by those who were supposed to be Nigerians, Abi? That's why some people said nobody is Nigerian. Everybody is just in business of whatever they can get, anything they can get from the system. This turn by turn Nigeria Limited. They are supposed to be those who love Nigeria. But have you seen enough love from those who have been leading us, including those who are leading you right now? Where you have no liberty, no rights of any kind until they say you do, or they tell you the limitation of where they are your rights. When you are not free in Africa, when you are not treated as you should be treated as citizens of that same Africa, when you are not given that maximum respect of life, protection of lives and property, life, your life, why do you think the West will have to care? Why? So if you blame them, I'm just reminding you that it won't change anything. Because the criminals who brought Africa to where Africa is today, they are all the same almost. Some will tell you that this one is better. Rwanda used to be a kind of a good example. But in their own way, they define what they think is the best way for them to keep their country out of any tribal war again. But they have to deny people their rights in so many embarrassing and brutal ways. So everywhere else is just a trial and error. But Nigeria, the total disappointment. So they saw Bukwari in Dubai, that same Dubai. Some even said that maybe Bukwari managed to see his wife, Aisha. Sorry, I won't drink.
Long life to Baba. Say Baba. Say Baba. Say Baba. Ale ba lafia. Ale ba lafia Baba.
Mr. President. Mr. President, sir.
Say Baba.
I wish you Johnny Mercy.
His Excellency.
Long life and good health.
Mr. President, thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming to Dubai.
May Allah support you to deliver.
Amen.
Thank you for coming to Dubai.
Excellency, you're welcome.
We look forward to a better Nigeria, our president.
Long live Nigeria.
Long live Nigeria, better Nigeria. We look forward to a better Nigeria. No problem. He's not feeling well, for real. He's not well.
This is life and direct.
Is that ever feeling well before?
He never feel well. And then I don't know why she kept telling him that they are looking for a better Nigeria. Better Nigeria. Looking forward to a better Nigeria from who? From Bukwari. So maybe if they didn't lump us together, right? Because I was as usual, right? I was looking at the map of Africa earlier today. Okay, so and I'm like, I'm going to share that with you. Maybe if they hadn't lumped us all up together, right? Maybe we could be the shining light for Africa enough. Like I said, if you look at this map, yeah, you realize that Nigeria is not the biggest country in Africa. Okay, let me see if I can enlarge it. See, you see, this is Nigeria here. Yeah, you see, Chad is bigger than Nigeria. Niger is bigger than Nigeria. Algeria, Libya, Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo. Angola is almost the size of Nigeria, if it's not bigger as well. Now look at those maps. Just look at them by size, right? Look at Ethiopia. It's almost the same size of Nigeria, right? Even Mauritania, where that Mauritanian man comes from. Now, in this small Niger here, that they make you feel, they made you believe that it's so big and what have you. So let's agree that it's so big, and we need to break it down. Now, when Bokwari says something about the Biafrans, that they are dots, yeah, I'll tell you what Bokwari meant, and then we will try to educate ourselves, okay, especially for those who want to know that Nigeria can break up, and this big for nothing embarrassment of a country, right, can be rescued, and the people therein can also what? They can at least be identified by their potentials, okay? So if you go to, before they stopped the old Western, Eastern, and Northern Nigerian arrangement, the regional system of government, yeah? The Eastern Nigeria, look at that map from the middle here. Wait. Look at this from, you see Enugu, right? That is the headquarters of Eastern Nigeria, okay? So Enugu. Then if you see it down here, like if you come down, you will see the Gulf of Guinea Atlantic. So when these people decided to break Nigeria into what it is today, they did something deliberately. Look at Enugu in the middle there, right? Coming on. You will then see other Biafran states today. I mean, so other Igbo land, which happens to be part of Biafra back then, the old eastern region. Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, Asabato, Onitsha, yeah, Imo, which is Owerri. Coming down the line, you will see Bayelsa, Yenagua, right? Coming down, you come to Port Harcourt, to Akwa Ibom, to Cross River, and then the border with Cameroon. Now, the next thing, what do you see? You see the Atlantic Ocean. So, when they broke Nigeria into states, right, they decided to now demarcate the line all along this lane to cut out Port Harcourt, cut out everywhere, and in their own workbook, the Fulani workbook that Bokwari works with, yeah, that then puts the Biafrans in the circle. So as long as the people in Port Harcourt and the people in Uyo, the people in Calabar and all those areas, as long as they can promise Nigeria that the Igbos, who are the Biafrans in between here, as long as they can promise that they will never have access to this sea, they can continue to intimidate the Biafrans. But look at it this way. Look at it this way. As Nigeria, if if those who want to take over the land, those who are coming for this water here and every path that lead to it, right? Those who are coming, if they are coming from the up north in that bigger parts, yeah, then they are Nigerians. What they are now doing is called encroaching, which is criminal in Nigeria, right? But if they had waited right there in the northern Nigeria, or if Nigeria was supposed to be what it was from the beginning, which will first prevent them from ever trying to cross down, and then try to force a law on the rest of us that will give them access to all these places. So if Nigeria was what it was then, which will stop them from doing any of that, then you see this part, this southern, that middle, that southern part, down, yeah, down. That's the access. Because if you look at here, you will see Lagos. Now the same water, see, this is Lagos, right? And it is the same water that you see in Lagos that make them divert everyone from the eastern Nigeria down, right, down to the west. So that if you are coming from any part of the world, or if you are bringing anything to Nigeria, you have to go through Lagos. So, and if you look at it very well, it is the same sea. This is Lagos, right? The same sea that will lead you to the Biafra land, the same eastern region, the same sea. There's no other one, see? Now the same water that made Lagos the port of entry, yeah? It is the same sea, you see? The same. But yeah, guess what? Nigeria could still have been a great place that could create its own job and not become a borrowing country. If Nigeria was planned, or if they set up Nigeria to be a country for our people. Because look at it this way. You know, I've shown you Lagos. Now, if Nigeria decide to just say, here in Benin, in Sapele, Warri, or this area, they have the same size of the seaport that Lagos has. That automatically will create millions of jobs in that part. Now, if they continue to go and they come here to Calabar and they come here to Port Harcourt, one here in Bayelsa, you see all this coastal line, if they make them the port cities, they will create millions of jobs for the jobless young people in that part who have to resort to, what do you call it? Insurgency. Insurgency, to breaking pipeline, causing further economic hardship for Nigeria, or what have you. And Nigeria, because it wasn't put together to work, Nigeria continued to tell you that the Biafrans who are asking everybody here who used to be together as Easterners to come together and see the denied opportunity, things that has kept the people of that part of the country poorer. Now, look at us here in Lagos. The only place we could possibly create another seaport in Yoruba land for our own is going to be Akure. Look at this part. Okitipupa. These are port cities, port communities, whereby jobs could be created. International, what do you call it? International waterways, you can make them international water to create jobs, right? And when people are really working, number one, things that could possibly even put less stress on their roads, they choose not to. Because, you know, if they should, the affair is this: they can control what comes through Lagos. If they want to control power, then they can monitor what is going on across the line, the sea line. As long as they can monitor that and call any activity in this part of Nigeria waterway, any part of that, any activities there is considered a piracy. Do you get that now? So when people say, what do we stand to gain if we break up Nigeria? I tell them, a lot. A lot. Now, when you have this kind of resources, what you need after that is the people. But Nigeria deliberately underdeveloped that part so that everybody can be in Lagos, so that they can know whose good is to be cleared, whose goods is not to be cleared. Nigeria will go abroad to go and borrow and lend money in order to construct rail line from Daura to Maradi in Niger Republic. But look at that. It can waste away. Politicians can tell you about it. See, politicians can write to you and say, if I become president, it's all lies, blah, 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 blah. Nigeria is not programmed to be like that. Now, when Nigerians underdevelop Nigeria or kill visions that could make Nigerians live better life in Nigeria, listen to me. What do you think you can say to justify, to disagree with those who said, let us break up Nigeria to unlock the potentials of those who are trapped in today's Nigeria? The idea of, no, let's join them. If you join them, you don't fight these criminals by election. You can't. So, it can be so great if I begin to tell you the advantage, because you can't really disagree with them. Where you have people who can see the potential of their people, but they ignore. You know why? It is not profitable for them. They are not interested in anything long-term plan or what have you. When they borrow money, they invest them in things that will make easy way of looting for them, and they leave their people in the limbo. So if these guys, the gatekeepers of Nigeria, who told us that the Biafrans are dots in a circle, after doing their political homework, demarcating and barricading Nigeria in that way, yeah? If they so rely on the support of all those who are from the coastal part of the Biafra, that they will help them during the blockade to block the Biafran from accessing the sea, let us ask you, is that the only good thing you can do with your sea? Is that what the only good thing that Nigeria sees in you as people from a Niger Delta, that you will help them to barricade the Biafrans and block their access to the sea? Is that the only thing that your sea is meant for, to create blockade, to help Nigeria kill other people, your brothers and sisters, while Nigeria leaves your shoreline open, and at the same time trying to make laws to help claim those shoreline, those riverbank, those waterways as their own, while you help them blockade it to help them kill Biafrans? I'm just asking, because that's the question I ask myself, that what could Boko Haram be thinking when he decided to play that tribal card, that the Niger Deltans, they deserve no real development, and if the Biafrans thinks that they will have access to the sea after they have redemarcated and redesigned Nigeria, if the Biafrans think they will have access to the sea, yeah, they are joking. The Niger Deltans have promised them that if the Biafrans come close to their sea, they will kill them for Nigeria. I didn't say the Niger Deltans said that to the coastal Biafrans, because even though Niger Delta is quite so commonly used now. But remember, they used to call you the Eastern region, or what historians will call the old Eastern region. There is something that brought you together it is because of your closeness there, you know, the relativity, the commonness, and every other thing you share together as a people of that axis, even though you have all your differences too, like many of us. Even us in Yoruba land, we have so many differences, but we call ourselves the Yorubas because we still have so many things that we have in common, more than what we can, get divided over. You know what I mean? So you were called the Eastern Nigerians. You had everything, just like the people of the Western Nigeria. Everything. You have the oil, you have the gas, you have the gold, you have the everything. We have everything too. You have the waterways. You were supposed to be your brothers and keepers, but Nigeria believed that you are not going to do that. Nigeria believed that you will help them blockade the Biafrans in case if the Biafrans insist that they want a Biafra. I mean, as Biafrans insist that they want a Biafra, yeah, they believe that you will help them blockade, them from the sea. But look at this. Let me show you something. Yeah, where is that again? 1 sec. If you look at this, Nigeria, the people who are telling us what will happen at our different waterways, they stay up north. You see where I see Kano? That place you see Kano. Yeah. Those are the people. That's where they live. Those are the ones who decide what happened to the people who live 1 sec. What will happen to people who live here? Get what I mean now? So if you, as a Niger Deltan, will help those from this far up, yeah, from this far up, to help them blockade the access to sea of people from here next to you, then that is up to you. Then ask yourself, is that what is that what the Niger Delta and the people of Niger Delta deserve to help Nigeria blockade their fellow brothers? So it's up to you. You don't deserve your own seaport where you don't have to go to Lagos before you can import that your, where have you? You don't have to go to Lagos, and then, you don't have to bribe people on the road, taking yourself straight to the east, when you can have a better one there, where everybody can have a better life around there, if it's well managed, where you can create millions of good jobs, better lives for the young people, old people, and people around there, rather than everybody going to where they want all of us to go to. I'm just saying it. If that is what what do you call it? If that is what the Niger Deltans are good for, you get what I mean now. So the conversation around, Biafrans being the and the Niger Deltans, which I actually like to call coastal Biafrans, but some people don't like that. They feel like, Maiyegun, we are not Biafrans. So I said, okay, fine. Well, to make my own explanation better, I like to say the coastal Biafrans, just like I talk about the other Biafrans, and I've told you why. Because the old Eastern region is still the old Eastern region. And even the man we're standing for, what do you call it? We're standing for Ujuku, who happens to be a Biafran second in command. You remember him? He's not an Igbo man. Honestly, listen to him.
Program. And I myself, I'm not an Igbo man, but I was to be killed also, and I just managed to escape. And a few of the officers escaped, but very many were killed. Those that were killed came from what was then Eastern Nigeria. For instance, Major Rock is not an Igbo man, but he was killed. He was killed in Kaduna. Major Kanam was killed in Lagos, and he is not an Igbo man. And several orders like that. I'm trying to say that the people, the officers killed, came not just from one tribe, but from the Eastern Nigeria as it then was. Yes. And so there you are. It was lucky for those of us that escaped.
Do you understand? So I like to use things I can refer to. And I didn't make that video. That video is probably about 50 years old. Yeah, That video, more than 50 years old, 1970. Yeah, it was recorded in 1970, I believe. So you heard him. So whatever controversy that people have today about Biafra, I continue to say people should learn how to express themselves in a way that you don't have to make enmity out of your disagreements. Okay? People do researches, people do a lot of things. Even me that I'm not Biafran, right? I have a lot of things I've researched about Biafra, and many of them, I pick things that are really much helpful to the cause today, where people need to understand that, yes, you can disagree. You may not really, you know what I mean? You may not agree with the way some are doing it and what have you, right? But that shouldn't make you enemies if you pay attention very well to why are we doing what we are doing? Why do we want to do what we are doing, right? So you can disagree with yourselves. You can, you know what I mean? But tearing yourselves apart, attacking yourselves and all of that due to maybe the part you know, because nobody actually knows it all right? Research, you research, and I tell people, we should all do our best to learn from history and never be imprisoned by history. If what you saw in history is when people hate themselves and what they caused, what they killed, this and that, then you are not learning from that history. And because there is more in history than the violence, the betrayal, the disappointment, and every other thing that is ever written. And as people said, yeah, they say for all the animals, if we allow all the animals to write their own story, if they indeed write their own story, their experiences with hunters, right? Many of you will stop glorifying hunters. But guess what? Now the hunters, they write the story about the hunting. Now the hunters, they write about the story about, they write the story about the animals. Oh, lion is this, elephant is that. Now the hunters, if we allow them to write their own story, maybe many of us won't give that crown to those hunters that we have given them to. If the Biafrans who have learned a lot, you learn from history. You learn from history. You don't tear yourself apart. You don't call yourself names, horrible names. You know what I mean now? You desist from that. Try to. Because back in the days, right, those who fought and died for Biafra, those you call the heroes today, those you always want to remember and you never want to forget, those ones who inspired the fight, the fire inside Nnamdi Kanu, that even in the face of death, it still never changed anything. He said, I want Biafra, or if I die, Biafra or death. If you don't give me that, don't think I'm going to stop asking for it. People who actually sacrificed all of that, I don't know how they lived during their time, right? But I don't think many of them will be happy that today, they tear ourselves apart. We are not Biafra. Now be this, now be that. We are not this, we are not that. Again, even Wole Soyinka got arrested. Yeah, Wole Soyinka got arrested for supporting Biafra. Wole Soyinka is not a Biafran. But he traveled down to Biafra. He got arrested and jailed as a prisoner of war. It was after the war they released him, right? Why? Because he felt like it was a just cause. People were fighting for what is just and right. And the only way he could contribute was to help join and tell the story to the whole world. He got arrested for it. You get what I mean? So people who were not even Biafrans, who felt like injustice was being done, they did all they could. But yeah, the world is the world, right? So it's not about, you know what I mean? It's not about tearing yourself. But I hope it helps in any way. We continue to push that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has done nothing wrong, asking for a referendum or asking for your own country, despite all I have told you right now, it's not a crime. You get what I mean now? It's not a crime. The state sponsored the criminality in Eastern Nigeria. The same, what do you call it, media sponsored, narrative and attack to pin every of this crime on the IPOB in Eastern Nigeria. They will never make it go away. That's one thing people have told me. Maiyegun, there's nothing they do. There's absolute nothing they try to do that will make Biafran issue go away. It's never going to go away. And I agree with them. So it's not a crime if Nigeria will begin to see through that. I don't see them do that. And they continue to cause more damages and destructions than that can be mended or fixed. So it's pretty much like Nigeria cannot be saved. Nigeria cannot be rescued. So if you love Nigeria, right, you should join others to break it up in order to save lives. It is a very straightforward demand. It is not about burning down Nigeria, killing ourselves, and the rest of that. If you love Nigeria, you will join those who are demanding to break it up to save lives. And there are many ways it can be done, right? Some said, Maiyegun, there's no other way other than a revolution. A revolution is not planned. It's spontaneous, as they say. And I agree. Suwe. What is the answer? Revolution is the answer. Suwe. They say watch and pray. And I am going to say watch, pray, and be vigilant. 2023 is coming. By January, Tifnumbu is fully ready to declare their money and their blood money flowing. Organizations and groups have been targeted, and many of them will begin to change their narrative. So pay attention. We received, they told us that, Oshibajo gave Ninas, what's what they call them, 350 million. Ninas responded and said, "Na lie. Now the other people collected money." You see all these things, Watch, pray, and be vigilant. The agents who have been filling in the gap all this while about all of the different agitation, different advocacies and demands and all that of the people from these rigged, corrupt criminals in Nigeria. It is about cash out time, and I just thought I should tell you, free of charge. The people who have been championing many of these causes, you will begin to see them for who they truly are from January, if they will wait till that time. Okay? So until that revolution, that spontaneous revolution kicks in, until when the Buhari dins, the Buhari didn't, the Buhari did not choose, the Buhari did jatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungozi Aris, the Unneka Aris, the obedient fools, sophisticated morons, all of these on-boot slaves, and then these Lagos Abubakus, all their cousins, the Oshogbo Alimajiris, cyberbarians, Facebook bandits, social media adsmen, their uncles and aunties abroad, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, and all the clan of the clowns called the cyberbarians, so that when the revolution, the spontaneous one happens, right, they will see the light, they will see the truth, and all the old mountain hill of lies of Liar Muhammad and gang will no longer be able to hold them forth. They will break loose, they will scream, they will tear the entire system down. That moment is when I'm waiting for. But before then, there will be so much drama. And I'm saying to some of you who are really upright, who are genuine, to stand firm, stay upright. The challenge of leadership will soon begin to fall on many, many of you. It will be falling on your shoulders and on your laps. They are not freebies. They come with responsibilities. I am saying it to you now. Be prepared and ready. Don't just walk about like those who are also looking for help, those who put their trust in other people and waiting for their messiahs. Prepare yourselves for what is coming. Prepare yourselves for leadership that can be trusted. Prepare yourselves for the frontline leadership that can be emulated, the ones that can be reciprocated, the ones that everyone will be so proud of. Prepare yourself for it. The reason why I'm saying this is this. They have told me revolution is spontaneous. It has no date. It has no time. It has no schedule. It has no location. It doesn't even have its own bearing. It happens, boom, spontaneously. And if you look at where is Bokwari taking you, it is no other place than the Armageddon. And taking you to the Armageddon means when the system crash, when the system collapse, when the rig system is completely shattered, leadership will beckon on many, many of you. It is better you are prepared. I am saying this because I think you should. You know, people will sit together to decide, how do we break up? How shall we do it? What should we push first? What should be the priority? Those of you who are in the know, those of you who want the better or the best for what for what you have despised enough for so long, when that leadership responsibility falls on you, you will not be caught unaware. You will not become worse than the people you condemn. You will not become worse than the people you lived to despise, because they will fizzle out sooner or later. I am saying this directly to you now. Those who will champion and chart the cause of referendum, those who will go out there and mount the podium, those who will speak directly to the crowd, those who will face the cameras, those who are going to champion the cause of what we will call liberation after the revolution, those who will be there for us, that will then say, these are the new faces of the new world that we want for ourselves, the future that we want to feature in, those that will be there. Count yourself one only if you are prepared. It is possible, because people will have to do it. These criminals won't do it. They are living in the bubble until the bubble bursts. If the bubble doesn't burst, they will continue to live in that bubble. How do you get this bubble to burst? It's up to you. It's up to me. It's up to every one of us who feel embarrassed, who feel insulted, who feel undermined, who feel devalued, who feel so belittled by the rest of the world for putting your name in that list that they called red list. A lot of things can be embarrassing. A lot of things can be undermining. A lot of things can be so demeaning. And what have you? But guess what? There's no other one that comes as a national disgrace, a national embarrassment, that they want you to help them blackmail the world, blame the world, and not them. Because you know they are useless. You don't expect anything from them, but we will have to make it different now. If we want to be respected, then we have to make that happen, you know? But hey, I can only talk. One day, the leadership will beckon I will likely be called upon too. When I am called upon, I want to be prepared. Yes, I want to be prepared. You should be prepared too. Leadership comes with responsibility. When you push it to some level, when this system collapses, when this system crashes, it will recall, I mean, you will be called upon. Would you be ready? That's the question. Because people will have to do it. There is no Messiah. There is no Savior. There is no warrior. There is no defender. There is no fighter coming to do it for us. But you see, as it is going, when you have enough number, when this revolution sparks, the system will sink. But if you are not ready, the same criminals who brought us to that level, they will volunteer to save us from it. Because of what? If you are not prepared, I'm saying this to you now. Some of you have that mindset. If I am called upon, I will stand up. I will stand firm. I will defend my land. I will defend my people. I will travel back home. I will organize. I will mobilize. You know what I mean? This is the sign. Well, let me put it this way. These are the signs of what leadership requires, of what leadership entails. Now, if you see yourself doing it, get yourself ready. Practicalize it. Go out there. Talk to people. Nigeria is not working. We don't want war. We don't want the bloodshed. We don't want a bloodbath. Nigeria brought war against the indigenous people of Nigeria. They can't defend themselves. And here we are. We would rather have it better, not with Nigeria, but on our own. When you talk to people and tell them what they stand to gain or lose if they continue to be part of Nigeria or they leave Nigeria, you begin to win the soul one by one. And when you get to that position where we can then say, yes, it is time. I mean, you will know. They say it is spontaneous. I have never participated in any revolution. I'm talking about revolution that indeed change, They said every generation, right? Every generation must choose their own missions. And I must make sure they either fulfill it or betray it. I am saying it to you right now. You see all this insult, all this embarrassment, all this limitation, whatever the Western world calls us, yes, they are right to some extent because they are being justified by the failure of those who were supposed to keep us kind of safer from the hands of those that will possibly bully and then abuse us. Then we won't have to be victims or claiming to be victims or joining the victimhood and say, well, they don't like us. They just, and I'm like, if they don't like us, do the people who actually meant to speak for us actually likes us to treat us this way? Of course they don't. Of course they don't. You have to love your brother. You have to love your sisters. You have to encourage them when they say, let us stand up. You don't have to be the one to facilitate their downfall, their death, or their incarceration in order to satisfy the same criminals that are likely going to even trap you, maybe in a different way, maybe through their policies that will cut up with you, maybe not yourself, a member of your family, maybe even your own children. Things happens when you encourage all these criminals in any way or the other. It comes back to us, even when you don't help them. So I'm not really bothered about the red list or no red list. Because many of those who are going to be affected by the red list or not, they are going to find their way around it because they know one thing, right? UK is going to open the border eventually. Canada is going to open it. All of them are going to open it. They're going to work it out. But they're going to do it again whenever the time comes. And if you ask yourself that, what if coronavirus, now Africa then found coronavirus? By now, they may probably have said, well, they don't trust your test that you don't have coronavirus, even if it says negative. So I agree with you when you disagree with them, the whole world, that they cannot make this an African virus. Please, it's not from Africa. Somebody somewhere, everywhere who traveled up, they brought it to Africa. And Africans who discovered it quickly alerted the world, only for them to be punished for it. But that can be stopped when we all begin to show interest in who we think we are projecting in that your own country. In Nigeria, we know our own issue. If you are from Ghana, if you are from any other African countries, right? As much as you are not really happy that this happened, right? Look inward, and you will realize that they wouldn't have done this to you, to us, if those who were supposed to actually speak for us did speak for us. They never spoke for us. So wherever it will take, you, me, us can make a difference. Only if we want it, right? Because it doesn't seem like everybody will actually want that. Thank you so much for your time tonight. This is where I'm going to draw the curtains, okay? Before you go, if you're watching me on YouTube, you can drop that thumb up there before you go. If you're watching on Facebook as well, thanks for joining me. I'm going to see you all some other time. Stay safe and good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Wọ́n bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Tí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùnra kì í.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùnra kì í. ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n ní ràn.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. èèpo ọbọ